Hi, can I have your name and matrix number, please?
Hi, my name is Daksha. My metric number is 185091.
Okay, I have a few questions for you. So, in part one, you will be responding to the first question, which is what hobbies do you do regularly?
I used to like to draw art, I used to do artwork. I like listening to music. I like trying out new costumes and seeing how they work on different people. Like I like trying it on myself, trying it on my friends. Kind of a make-believe fashion designer, but yeah, that's what I like doing.
So, which new hobby would you like to try, and why would you want to do it?
To be really honest, I would really like to sing, and the reason being because I have a friend who sings like an angel. So I would really like to try singing. I think I can, but I'm just too nervous to actually try it. I mean, I might be kidding myself and I might be tone deaf, but it's worth the try at least.
Okay, so next and the last question, what will your job be in the future?
I wish and I hope to actually be a lecturer in the future, to actually teach, because I really like teaching something that when people actually get something that is being taught, the kind of like flame that you see in their eye when they actually get it, when they eventually get it, I like that. And I hope that someday I could be a teacher that can actually bring that flame out in people. And I just wish I'm not one of those lecturers who just continue to speak and the students not get anything. So right now I'm actually looking at various ways that I try to understand something. So as a student, when I can understand something in a certain concept, when I become a lecturer, it will be easier for me to bring out that same concept because I've been in their shoes, so that might actually help me with teaching in the future. But if that doesn't work out, then I honestly wouldn't mind opening up my own business. Like I said, I really like designing clothes. So I honestly wouldn't mind actually not designing like costumes, but just like putting things together, like just being a stylist basically. I honestly wouldn't mind doing that. Or baking. Those are the two things that I really like. So I wouldn't mind doing either one of those.
Okay, thank you so much. And next we will be proceeding to part two. So let's talk about this for 2 minutes, yeah? Describe a toy that you had in your childhood. So what I would like to know about this toy is that what was the toy, who gave it to you, and how old you were when you got it, and also most importantly, why do you remember this toy?
Okay, the toy I got as a child was a Digimon, which I'm not sure if people of this age actually even still play those things. But a Digimon it's kind of like a remote controlled, very tiny device that has a creature living in it, and you're supposed to take care of it. You can battle with your friends and families, but basically it's like taking care of a little baby from the time the egg hatches until it grows up. I remember my dad getting it for me at a petrol station because we were heading from Selangor all the way to Kelantan or something, so it was a really long drive, and I was being a grumpy kid basically. So just so I would keep quiet and I would stay occupied, he actually got me this so I could start playing. So yeah, in that couple of hours, the journey that took about an hour, like 6-7 hours, I managed to just stay quiet and like played on my Digimon the whole time. I was about, I think, 5 or 6 years old when I got it. So I was still able to like speak, and I was able to communicate what I wanted to my parents, and that's probably why they got it for me. I remember this toy because I think it actually taught me how to be responsible. I know it's just a toy and it's probably just a creature that's in a tiny, it's just a robot. I could always reset it, but it actually taught you how to. It's it's what my dad did before he gave us a pet. He said if you could take care of your Digimon, you could take care of a cat, or you could take care of your dog. So as kids, we were always asking for like, oh, I want a puppy, or I want a hamster. But instead, we got a Digimon. I mean, eventually mine died, so maybe I wasn't that responsible. But I think it taught us responsibility at a very young age. Like we were able, like not just me, but my siblings, all of us were able to actually get that, at least that positive part of the game incorporated into our lives. So I think that's one of the good things about the toy that I got, which was the Digimon.
Okay, that's a really great thing to do. And then now we proceed to part 3, in which we will be discussing a few questions. First one, what is the difference between toys for girls and boys? What do you think about that?
I think there are gender neutral toys. There are many gender neutral toys, at least in this day and age. Like Digimon used to be something for boys, I think, but even girls used to play the Pokemon too. But I think if you want to look at specific toys for girls and boys, I would say Barbies are more for girls, and Hot Wheels, Tamiya cars, Beyblades, those are more for boys. But I grew up with a brother, so basically whatever he had, I had. So I grew up with a lot of like boy toys. I mean, I still had a Barbie, but like she would sit at the Hot Wheels cart, like, you know. So we would try to incorporate all this into, like, you know, there is no gender-specific toy, I think, in my room.
Yeah. Okay. Next, should children be allowed to choose their toys?
In my opinion, to a certain extent, yes. And the reason why I'm saying that is because when you say children are allowed to choose their toys, people always assume like a kid standing at a toy store and being like, I want that, I want that, I want that. But instead, what I mean is that they should be allowed to pick what they like. Because some kids are more artsy, some kids are more kinesthetic, so they need something that moves. Some kids like reading. You can't force a kid who likes reading to go out and play in mud. The same way how you can't force a kid who likes to play in mud to start reading books. So I think kids should be able to choose their toys, but not to the extent that they're pointing at literally everything at the toy store and your parents are still buying it for them.
Okay. Next.
Besides that, there's also another reason why I feel kids should be allowed to choose their own toys, because I think it builds their skills. So they're able to actually start working on those skills at a very young age. Say they're interested in arts, when they get and they choose to get a watercolor set or something, and their parents get it for them, they'd be able to actually start working on those skills at a very young age. So that gives them a better skill, better technique when they're slightly older.
Okay, so do you agree, or what is your opinion when I say children do learn something from toys? Like, do you think they learn something from toys?
I think they do. I think they do a lot. And from what I've actually previously explained about my Digimon, I think they learn a lot. They learn a lot of good ethical values like responsibility in the case of my Digimon. I would say some kids even get to learn how to be more, like, they learn how to assess their own quality of stuff. So like if you're an artist, you will look at your own piece of paper that you just drew, and you would be able to look at it and tell like what's wrong with it. Should I be working on this skill? Should I be working on other skills? So I think it's good that a kid can start doing all this at a very young age, because your toys can actually help you build that confidence that you would have later on. So if you're good at something, you're going to be confident. If you know that as a child, that would be better for you. It builds your self-confidence.
Would you consider a book a toy or not?
I would, because not all books are educational. I would say sometimes some are just for leisure reading, and if I don't know if this is being correct, but I think for some books, yes, because some books now come with like a lot of things inside of them that you can do, especially for kids who are more kinesthetic and they like moving things. So some books come with like clocks that you can wind and have sound, so I would consider them toys sometimes.
And the last question for this session, do you think that parents should send their kids to like classes which involves arts and like skills before they get toys, or like after they get the toys? Like, would you want the children to like learn by their own, or like do you want your parents to like send you to classes and stuff for you to learn new things?
I would say if you think your child has a potential and if you see them being really interested in it, why not? Because if you see your kid picking up a fake guitar and trying to play it, then you can send your kid to an actual guitar class so they can actually learn a lot of things. But if they just walk past the musical aisle and don't really care about any musical instruments, forcing them to go for a music class is not fulfilling their dream, but it's fulfilling your own dream. So that's kind of putting your own hopes and dreams on your child, which might not be fair. So I would say, in your question of giving them the toys before or after, I would say probably before, just to see if they're interested. And then if they're really interested, then take them to learn the actual skills. I personally believe in that because as a kid, I used to love writing. I think I started writing at the age of 2 or 3. I wrote like very short stories, like horror stories and things like that. My parents would read it. And at the age of 4 or 5, they sent me to a writing class. I was the youngest person there. My writing was still very bad. But we wrote like an entire novel and we put it together as a class. So it kind of taught me like that I was actually good at something. You know, I didn't actually pick up that skill and try to brush on it as I grew, but like at least at that very young age, I knew that I was actually good at one thing, and that like kind of boosted my self-confidence a little bit. So I think it's great to actually kind of sharpen your skills before school.
Okay. So before we end our session, do you have anything else to say?
I just want to end on a note to parents. If try positive reinforcement with your kids. I mean, taking a toy away from them or giving them toys isn't always a good way to reward or to punish your kids. But try positive reinforcements. Try teaching them. There's a lot of benefits from toys. Yes, there's a lot of negativity around it too, but try taking the good parts and try teaching that to your kids. Try teaching them the skills that come from just one toy instead of being like, oh, all toys are useless or all toys are not good. Some toys actually have tried to like help learn certain skills that your kids can learn that are actually really good for them in the future. So try thinking of it in that sense and try helping your kid understand that. Because they're young, they don't get the point of it. But if you can tell them like, oh, see, this, you have actually made your Digimon survive so long, that means you're a responsible kid. This is how you should be like when you have a pet. Then your kid gets that link, and then it helps them understand things even better.
Okay. Thank you very much, Daksha.
Thank you.